Hey everyone, welcome to our 39th office hours. And today we have the founder of Euclid Protocol, Georges, join us today. And as you all know, Euclid just recently we just saw a cool swap that is being done on our testnet. So Euclid is a decentralized, unified cross-chain liquidity infrastructure. So any application across the blockchains will be able to use a unified source of liquidity. So would love to share over the stage and give over the mic to Georges. And we would love to know more about yourself and just a quick introduction about how Euclid started and just more about what Euclid protocol is.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Catherine, for hosting. Hey, everyone. So, yeah, I'm George, the founder of Euclid. And we're building a liquidity consensus layer, as Catherine said, that allows any network, including zero G, to tap into liquidity and users that exist anywhere. So if you're a builder on zero G and you have an application, but you want to expand you want to tap into liquidity and users that exist on Solana, on Ethereum, on Monad, on Base, whatever network you can think of, you can do that through Euclid. So we've built this infrastructure and integrated it into zero G. And yeah, if you're a user, you can basically use your zero G wallet and your zero G funds to tap into applications that exist on other networks and without the need to bridge or worry about any obstacle which currently exists in blockchain. And vice versa, you can use your Solana funds, your MetaMask on any network to tap into zero G applications, again, without the need to bridge, right? So we eliminate bridging for users and eliminate the biggest obstacle, which is insecure, expensive, and just a bad user experience. So yeah, we're working with zero G to power the DeFi ecosystem as well as their applications to expand beyond only one network and have zero borders in terms of all the users and applications they can onboard, right? So if you're building on zero G, that would be very interesting to you. And also, if you're like a user who likes to use zero G applications, they will soon be usable from everywhere, basically. Now I can show you a bit of a demo if you want to on how Euclid works, just an interface. Now, just go ahead, sorry.
No. Please go ahead. Yeah, sounds good. Just please screen share and you'll be able to proceed with it. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. So yeah, but again, we're focusing on infrastructure. So we're focusing on building scalable APIs, endpoints, services, smart contracts you can integrate natively into your application and also use as a user to directly tap into the entire ecosystem and tap into maximum liquidity, which means minimal slippage. Cross-chain swaps take 2 to 10 seconds maximum to process. And yeah, I think this will be the future of how zero G can onboard everybody into its ecosystem without worrying about bridging or gas fees or anything like that. So yeah, let me share my screen and show you some stuff. Okay, I'm not sure. Hold on.
Jan, is the screen share permission enabled for Georges? Yeah.
Is my screen visible now?
Screen's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
great.
we are able to see now.
So this is the swap interface that we have built that allows you to just show you how you can do swaps. But again, this infra the applications will be using like launchpads, perps, liquidity markets, everything like that to use Euclid. But now let me show you also, this is our scanner. So this is our cross-chain scanner, which shows all swaps happening currently on Euclid. And in less than a month, we have processed 1.5 million transactions across the entire ecosystem. As you can see, there's transactions happening every second across Base, Scroll, all these ecosystems. Now I'm just looking if I can see. So you can look at the stats. You can see basically all the transactions we have performed. You can see zero G here. So we're processing currently in 2 minutes, every 2 minutes, 60 transactions on zero G. People swapping from or to zero G from any other asset in the ecosystem. We have over 30 networks that we support. You can also see top tokens traded, the volume, everything like that. Now here's our testnet. So if you're interested, you can come here, connect your MetaMask or whatever wallet that you have, connect to the zero G network and start doing swaps. So here, as you see, I'm just going to do a test transaction. And you can look at the pools that exist. So all these pools and tokens are tokens that we support on Euclid. So here you have our token with zero G network. And if you want to add liquidity, the current APR is 140%. So basically you can also add liquidity to this pool. And any transaction will have over 60 per second that happens. You'll be earning a fee of it. And you'll be making 140% on your zero G on testnet as well, which is very cool. But yeah, sorry. You can add liquidity just by pressing here. Now, if you want to swap, now, for example, I don't have zero G in this wallet I just created, but I can go over to, just thinking where I have assets. Let's say I'm on Somnia, I want to do an STT one, right? So this is a new wallet I created to do some tests. So let's say I want to do it from Neutron chain, which is another chain. It's a Cosmos chain, for example. And I'm going to do a swap from Neutron over to DOG. You can add how much Neutron you want to, how much of the asset you want to swap. You just put a number. You can see exactly how much DOG you're going to get. You can see how it's going to go. So the swap route is from Neutron to Euclid to ZOG. It can go through multiple routes as well. I'm going to talk about that later. If you have a referral code, you can just add it here and the referral will get points on Euclid. And we're also going to talk about that. But yeah, you can see the route, minimum received, and the slippage tolerated. Now, on testnet, it's very high because there's a lot of transactions happening on testnet every second and the pools are very imbalanced. And slippage, like there's a lot of slippage issues that could happen. On mainnet, that won't be the case, of course. So yeah, just press swap now. You verify your transaction, make sure it's going to work. And then, yeah, you just confirm swap. You just need to sign one transaction. And then, yeah, you just wait. When the plane, yeah, so now the transaction is broadcasted through Euclid, the Euclid system, and it should be completed in a few seconds. So yeah, we're going to talk about this. Just waiting for swap to complete. Sorry. Now again, speed of transactions is dependent mostly on the speed of the blocks that we're using and how much congestion there is on the network. So here it should be done like so it's already done. So it took like, I think 10, 12 seconds, but it was a bit slow due to using Neutron. If you're using two fast networks, it can take between 2 to 5 seconds. And in our next version, it's going to be even faster. But CC can swap over to ZOG, so it's like a faucet as well. So you can earn some ZOG tokens and start using the ZOG ecosystem, right? And I don't worry about ZOG like gas fees or how I'm going to get it there or time waiting for finality. It's all done through the Euclid consensus layer. Now we have something called vouchers as well. So if there's not enough ZOG in the network for you to be able to receive, you can receive what you call vouchers, which allows you to redeem ZOG at a later date as well. So here, if you see, I have some ZOG here, I have other tokens as well. You can just withdraw them. You can choose to withdraw them ZOG, and then you just choose how much you withdraw, and you can just withdraw them here directly. So yeah, this is mostly it. It's pretty cool, and it allows you to swap between any chain without worrying anymore about any any bridges, worrying about how you're going to get there, about how to use this application. So imagine if you have a NFT marketplace on ZOG, you'd be able to allow users from Solana to purchase NFTs with their soul without even knowing they're using ZOG, right? So this is how you onboard the most amount of users possible and the most amount of liquidity into your ecosystem. And this is what we're working closely with the ZOG basically on doing. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any questions before I move on, talk more about our program and everything like that as well.
Guys, if you have any questions, please do drop in the chat, and or else during the session you can drop anytime and we can just dedicate a few minutes in the end to answer your questions.
Yeah, and also, by the way, this is live already, so you can go in right now and do it. It's on testnet.euclidswap.io. I don't know if you can drop it anywhere for people to test if they want to. But yeah, this is just a quick demo. Yeah, so this is a quick demo I wanted to do to basically explain how Euclid works on a high level. Low level, like I could talk more about the details of how this works and everything. We can go over documentation. There's a lot of videos up there on YouTube and X that you can learn from so that we don't take too much time. But yeah, this will solve, I think, a huge problem in onboarding people from anywhere, because I think the number one problem which ecosystems have, including ZOG, is onboarding, users into the new ecosystem, into what you offer, into your moat, right? And with that, you're basically eliminating that. And now if you build good applications and a good ecosystem, people could come in natively without any problem anymore. So this is what we're building. Yeah.
Thank you, George. That was definitely helpful to get started with a quick demo. So that was really a lovely presentation, and that gives them the clarity of like how the whole interface works. So could you please elaborate more on your future vision on how you're going to expand this product, and what is the underlying technology that differentiates from the competitors?
Yeah, so currently competitors basically allow you to bridge, right? Allows you to come to ZOG via bridge. So you need a bridge connected to a network. I need to go over to the bridge, move my assets to ZOG. They could be wrapped or not. And then I need to, press another button, do another transaction, wait like a few minutes to do a transaction. So this is extremely slow and extremely bad UX, right? So it's like the question that why would I go use this application if it's going to take me so much time unless I really want to? And this is not how you grow an ecosystem and basically onboard a huge number of users. You need simplicity. You need an extremely good UX to be able to do that. especially Web2 or retail. It's very hard to onboard if you need to basically get them on to use a bridge and then do 3, 4 transactions, wait a minute, and then maybe they lose it, and it's extremely stressful, right? So this is exactly the problem that we're solving for, and our goal is to build infra which makes it extremely easy for people to use the ecosystem. So one is this, the swap will also allow you to send and receive assets via email. So now I can, get an email and send zero G over to this email, and somebody could claim it. So this is how you onboard even more people. So you, as zero G users, you can go to your friends, send them to their email some zero G, and they could claim it, to their wallet whenever they want to, either today or in a month. So this is, I think we're building tools to onboard the retail without the friction of Web3, basically. And this is only one part of it. Second part is for liquidity providers. When you provide liquidity on zero G, even if nobody uses zero G, for example, people swapping from ETH to Bitcoin, if the route goes through zero G liquidity providers will be earning fees as well, right? So this is also something extremely important, because when you create this unified layer of liquidity, you provide liquidity for swaps that happen anywhere. So even if I'm swapping from ETH to Bitcoin, it could go from ETH to zero G, then to Bitcoin. I'll be earning more fees on my zero G tokens beyond our ecosystem. This means much more fees for liquidity providers, which means much more liquidity, which means much lower impermanent loss, much less impermanent loss, better lending, more lending rates, better experience overall, right? So yeah.
Sure, Georges. That was really interesting when it comes to like you'll be able to do it via email. So that is really futuristic and we are looking forward to it. So coming over to the next section, and we are pretty close. We have like 10 minutes more. So before we proceed, like how do you manage can you please explain more about the automated market makers that is underlying, and like how do you keep it constant? And if you could just give us a quick brief for the audience who aren't yet aware of how automated market makers work, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, so automated market makers, I think, is one of the most brilliant things that ever happened for blockchain and for finance, because basically you don't need to have anymore a market maker that comes in, run algorithms, study the price, hedge their price. It's very hard to be a market maker. You need millions of dollars. You need a lot of knowledge in coding and building the algorithms and building the trading bot, right? Automated market makers market make tokens that can create prices and liquidity for assets without any through math and through code. So there's a bonding curve which exists, and you need to know a bit of math to do this. But there's a bonding curve that exists that allows you that creates a rate for a coin against a other asset or a bunch of assets, right? So you have Uniswap, AMMs, you have constant pool AMMs, you have dynamic AMMs. Like there's different type of bonding curves. But then at the end of the day, this means if you have extra liquidity that you want to make money on and facilitate liquidity on, you can basically do that without worrying about running anything, neither a trading bot or anything, because the price is determined by math. All right. So this is already exists, and every DEX uses an AMM. I think this is genius because there's so much more liquidity that could flow in if you could basically manage it yourself. If you could manage it yourself without worrying about any technical knowledge that you need to have. So we run our own whole infra on AMMs. We have different types of AMMs you can use. You can also build your own AMM on top of Euclid. But we want people to be able to provide liquidity and create a healthy market without having anybody can do it. So if you're here and you have $10, you can basically be a market maker now. If I have $1 million, I can be a market maker now. Any asset that I want, I can create liquidity for instantly in a decentralized and basically extremely secure manner through AMMs. So this is why I feel sad when I see like people going back to intents and going back to like other types of centralized order making or market making, because it's one step behind what we have created through automated market makers. And we didn't create this technology, we're just leveraging it, but across multiple networks. Again, we can talk exactly about technically how that works, but there's a lot of different steps and layers that are built on top of it. But this basically allows one market maker, one pool to be tapped into from anywhere, which I think is what is important here.
Awesome, Georges. So the next part that we could just elaborate more on the discussion is like, what's the current status of integration with Zero G, and how's the partnership so far, and where are you looking forward building with us in the near future?
Yeah, no, like there is a huge roadmap we have with zero G. Some things we can announce, some things we cannot announce for now. That we're working with the team. But yeah, I think there's a huge roadmap. I think the zero G has a very like vibrant ecosystem they're building. They have a lot of focus on DeFi and on AI, of course. And I think that we want to support this ecosystem through our infra. We want to make sure that these applications that they are building will be accessible from the largest user base possible, whether in Web 2, whether in Web 3, whether through email, whether through wallets, whether on Solana. It doesn't matter. We want to support this ecosystem to grow as vibrantly as possible, grow the liquidity, grow the user base. And I think this will bring even more applications to come to zero G, more users. And it's like a flywheel which starts, right? We're already setting the rails for it. We're already working with the team closely. We're still, of course, early, but there's a huge roadmap that we have to implement on. There's very interesting projects we're working together on. I cannot talk about as of yet, but it will be very interesting. It will be very interesting for you guys when we announce it. So also stay tuned, right? And also, if you want to participate we might and might not have also rewards for zero G users. So if you're interested in participating in these rewards or being part of them, we have our passport program where you can mint a passport. It's on Polygon and it's for free to mint. And if you unify a zero G wallet, you might be eligible for something. I can't say exactly what, but you can go to planet.euclidprotocol.io. I'm gonna drop it in the chat as well if you want to mint one. Also, that could be interesting for you guys. Oh, I can post the link, so you might have to post it. But yeah.
Yep. If you can share me on the chat, I'll just share it over here as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. So thank you so much for sharing, George. We are really looking forward to working with you on the long run. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like we can open more towards the questions because we would really love our audience to be engaged. So guys, if you have any questions, please do drop on the chat. Where to mint? I'll be sharing the link now soon. Yeah. George says share, I'll share it over. George, in the meantime, like how else can our community member contribute to the growth of Euclid? Is there any programs or can they meet you in person in any upcoming events? So
Yeah.
please share quick details on that.
Sure. So we have some events happening at ECC. So if you'll be there or want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter, Euclid Protocol. This is where we share all our latest updates. We also share the Planet Euclid, which is our passport program where you can earn points, do missions on Euclid, which will have zero G missions exclusively as well. You can mint a passport, do zero G missions there, and you'll be earning points through we have our whole questing platform. So just look at it, and that would be very interesting for them if they want to participate because you help test the protocol and give feedback. If you join our Telegram, and we're going to have a Discord soon, you can give feedback as well, which will be very helpful for us to make our infra better for applications on top of zero G and other networks to, benefit the most. Yeah.
Sure, George. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, please do drop in the questions. We have like 2 more minutes before we could. Guys, we have 2 more minutes before we conclude the chat. Please do drop in any questions that you have. EVM too. Thank you, George, for answering the question.
Yeah, so just to answer it for everybody. So if you're doing a swap on Euclid and it's from Cosmos to EVM or EVM to Cosmos or to Solana, you need to provide a wallet so we can send the assets there because it's going to be a different wallet or else we can't do the swap, right? Now, when we launch emails, you'll be able to send it directly to your email, but for now, we need the wallet. If it's EVM to EVM or same ecosystem, then you won't have this issue. So that's only for just an FAQ.
Got it. Guys, if you have any question, I'll be sharing the links for Euclid's socials as well as to George's as well. So if you have any questions, you can please do join in their community chat and you will be able to interact and get support on it. Else you could ping us anytime and we can connect you with the respective teammates from Euclid as well. So George, you want to conclude anything before we wind up the session?
Yeah, very quickly. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for hosting it. I think again, this infrastructure will 100x what zero G can do, not that zero G can do by itself. But with that, you can onboard so many people from different ecosystems, from different, that wouldn't come in without Euclid itself, through either liquidity, through users, through applications. So I think this is the start of something very big. And stay tuned, follow us if you want to know our updates, especially what we plan to do with zero G on the long run, which we'll announce soon enough as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Georges, for joining us session. And thank you, Jan, for hosting us as always. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We are definitely grateful to have you with us building and looking forward to see you on the next session. And special thank to Georges for joining us today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.